And thanks for staying with me here on PM Express. In the last 40 minutes, we've been stuck in the first dimension. Right now, I want to switch it up to the fifth dimension. And guess who is joining me for a conversation tonight? He is one God. We're going to have a 360 conversation. And I want to invite him to join me on stage. And that's all we do. He is the man that many people know, Stonebwoy. Someone please come in. Come into shot and let's have a conversation. And he's joining me now for a big conversation. I know many of you, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, Stonebwoy. Great to have you on the show, by the way. And many people have been looking forward to this conversation. And let me start with a confession. I have never told you this before, but I wanted to be a musician when I was young, and I actually started my music career way in Adabraka. And I say this all the time. I'll tell you later when we sit down for a conversation, when I go into, he will also interview me at a point, and then I can tell him a bit more about myself, many things about me you don't know. And, well, of course, I'm a disappointed musician. I end up here as a journalist doing this, sometimes boring show, asking all the hard questions. So I'm very happy that Stonebwoy is going to join me. Prepare, you're going to be asking me questions. You're going to be asking me questions about my music career that I let go. But thank you for coming into this conversation. Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have me on this platform, because I don't think that, artists or the creative arts have their ways here as often.
You're right.
I'll deem it as an honor to,
This is the first time, actually.
Okay, then I win.
Yeah, it's always hard, I talk about the economy, numbers, statistics, and I'm tired. Yesterday we had this long one. So good to have you,
Thank you very much.
Great to have you. And indeed, I've been in love with your work for a long time.
Thank you very much.
And recently, I've also noticed your great work you're doing with your foundation.
Sure.
Going into communities and helping them. And then you launched this album, Fifth Dimension. I see that on your... By the time you finish, I need to get one of those things that you're wearing.
Good.
And many say it's put you on the path to the Grammys. I'm not going to let more out of the bag. We're going to take a seat now and have a great conversation. Please follow us as we take a seat.
Thank you.
So my guest on the show tonight, Stonebwoy Livingston Echesetekla. And indeed, I'm happy that he could join me. And Stonebwoy, I've just been telling you before we started, whilst we did the transition, that I have fallen in love with two songs. The one is the one you featured Angelique Kudjo on. Yeah. It's Manoji. What's Manoji, by the way? Manoji
is a Ewe word that means I'll keep on. Literally, Manoji, I'll keep on. So just keeping on, basically. Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting one. It reminds me of a song when as I said, we'll come to that in my own career, keeping on. Keep on to keeping on.
Exactly.
My word, your life's so real. Okay, yeah. That's me. When it comes to that, you have to ask me the questions about my musical past. But we'll come to that album that you recently launched. I'm interested in your life story because a lot of that resonates with me. I want to start there. This Ashaiman roots of yours, it's fascinating. Rags to riches, but you've never forgotten your roots. I understand for 7 years running, you go back there to give with this Ashaiman to the wealthy.
It's more than 7. I think we did the 8th year last year, so this will be the 9th year. It would have been the 10th without COVID, but that's it.
Let's talk about a bit of that. How does that inspire your work right now? This Stonebwoy that we see here, people aspire to be you, but how does those roots inspire your current manifestation?
To start with, I didn't choose my roots. My roots chose me. Okay. So I can only be true to my roots, to continue to bear some fruits. See? So born in Ashaiman has actually been the reasons why I'm here. Gone through life, as it's supposed to be. A teenager, who had to struggle from scratch, singing in the hood. I found out that I was very talented right when I was a very, very, very little boy. So I'm one of those people who went through the church, route. My parents were Christians.
Okay.
In deeper life. So you can understand the
That is as Christian as it gets, Deeper
Exactly.
Life. I also went to Deeper Life once.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah, I went to Deeper Life for a long time. Isn't that where they clap?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
I would have even sung something already.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
but that was a rhythm. It was constant.
It's a dancehall rhythm, basically.
Here we go. And come to think of it, I see a lot of those, and now I know where you're getting the inspiration from.
Rhythm, you feel me? So I went through the church, route as well, and I know that it harnessed a lot of my talent at the point, because you go to church like 3 times a week, including Sundays. I was going to the dawn broadcastings and etc. So I think that I used the church premises to also nurture my musical talent and my talent of expression, because my father was an elder, so I had to also play that role. You know how you should be reading the Bible, teaching the children class, sometimes going for dawn broadcasting, etc. So I did all of those, and then whilst we were in school as well, I think my upbringing was quite, how do I say, quite comfortable enough, to have been able to express my innates and the things that make me now. But at a point in time was when you had to take charge of your own situations and hit the road and struggle to, was when after I had an accident when I was in junior high school, 3, about to complete school, and then things began to take some turns and etc. Family life that I wouldn't want to go deep into. So, you had to fend for yourself. And the only thing that was right in front of me was the talent that I had. So whilst I was going through the senior high school, first year in senior high school, I said, asked myself, the second time. And this one was out of, the quest to survive. Like in senior high school 1, I was one of those kids who would go to school with a Browning Catty in the pocket, because all you have was to take transport. And because I had a situation with my knee, I used the money for transport, so it's not going to be enough for my food.
Because obviously you couldn't walk.
Obviously couldn't walk, like from Ashaiman, Lebanon, who knows, to Tema Community 11. I did the walking sometimes. Most of the times I did because I didn't have enough money. My mom couldn't give me enough money to. She's struggling, we're all struggling. We know the situations at home. So you have the Bronicate in your pocket, still want to walk to school. And I think after I was discharged from the hospital, I still insisted to continue my grades, because I wrote my BEC a year later, a year after my year mate, because I was in the hospital. I tried to write in the hospital, but it didn't go through, So I came back home, stayed at home for a whole year without going to school, but I had to read to, write my exams. And guess what? I came up tops among the top 3. So, I got admission. I had to continue school with my condition. So that's like basically my upbringing and things that really inspire me. So I asked myself in class once upon a time, after senior high school, nothing day.
Wow.
Waiting day. Now the music, you understand? So a friend of mine would always force me to be like, yo, you can do it. Because we find times to be happy as black kids, as we are. So I just faced music, and it's since giving me a place of comfort and a place to also use my story to inspire people. That's why I chose what I chose, and
here. And the Ashaiman stories are a powerful one, because right now we know the economy is tough. And I know through your foundation, you're giving back to the community. One of the things that I learned that you focus on is youth empowerment, right? I mean, sometimes they say musicians, you just do music. You don't care about the economy. But I thought, yeah, it's true. I tell you, you do music and you make your money, and you're not in touch with the realities of the economy.
No, we are.
Is that really true?
No, it's not true. It's to me, I say it's false, because we are all existing within an economic system. You know what I mean? And we form part of the sector that comes together to make an economy a beautiful and a thriving one. So we cannot be seen as people who are disengaged or disassociated with the economy. It's a lie. I don't know how people have managed to get to an understanding like that, to feel that, oh, the Stone Boys and the likes, the full price cost of crime, the only problem. I think it's a big lie.
You
we
sure?
all belong to the economy.
Okay.
If, for instance, I'm making 10 CD today, and the economy is thriving and booming, and there are structures in place, etc., that should tell you that I'll be making 100 CD in a day. So it would affect everybody equally.
And because also of your roots, do you, I mean, in the last 1 year has been very tough. Have you had to carry a bit more burden from your ghetto youth? And you have a song called Ghetto Youth. I really love that song because it reminds me of my own growing up. Also I grew up in the Zongo, by the way, too.
For sure.
You know, so you dig Ghetto Youth. And I know people see me on television and times are hard. They think because you're on television, you can help them, right?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, have you seen that in the last 1 year become a bigger issue that you have to contend with, also because you have the foundation?
Yes, it has increased. You know, it continues to increase. I don't see it decreasing anytime soon because the perceptions are building up to from the roots of the fact that musicians or creative arts, or once they see you on TV, you have arrived. You know, so that will never end until probably they don't see me on TV anymore. Yeah. But so long as they continue to see you on TV, and of course you have a foundation, you know, that you're operating. So everybody will think that, oh, on top of that, you still have a foundation. So for that day, that means that you have some finances that you are dashing because they see in the news Stonebwoy celebrates Mother's Day with some selected mothers and widows. I bussed them from Ashaiman, brought them to Royal Nick Hotel, had lunch with them, you know, gave them some stuff, you know, something, you know, that they could appreciate and all that. And they blessed, you know, my life with that. People would see it from the fact that I have so much to give, but will not see it from the fact that I have the heart to give, and I may not have so much. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
And one of the things that also struck me is that through your foundation, you are finding your own creative solutions to some of the most existential challenges that this country faces.
Truth.
I noticed that you recently dug a borehole for a community called Bokope Community.
No, I'm still digging. That's what we just announced.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, we did the research and we went in and then we got the documentary done from last year. Then I was saving up a little to see how I can make this happen. And guess what? We went into the community and realized that the communities over there are all Ewe-speaking communities in the Takoradi municipality. Yeah. And so, you know, their water actually has been damaged because of the mining activity.
And that for me was an interesting bit.
Yes.
That the illegal mining that we've been talking about for, I've had many shows here.
Many years.
Have destroyed their water. They have nothing to drink.
They're along the River Pra.
Yeah.
Those villages are along the River Pra.
And you saw that for yourself?
Physical. And
how bad was it? Tell me about it.
I think we have pictures, and it's that bad. Like the color of the water is literally bad, and what they still have and depend on. The cleanest is when rain falls and they're able to harvest the rainfall somehow and it settles. But aside that one, it is a struggle. And to be honest,
by the way, that's what you're seeing on your screen. That's what you see on your screen there.
And
so this is what you saw that inspired you.
Yes, but this is like even a generic photo. Yeah. Physical photos exist where you can see what they're drinking in front of me. That's what they fetch. That's how it has to settle. So I prayed to God and I took it into the fact that, okay, I'm going to save towards that project. And just last 2 weeks was when we hit the ground. I'm digging like 4 boreholes in 4 different communities around the same place. It's not like just one borehole. Okay. It definitely will be adequate enough to cater for. And this is like a big project. I'm not trying to do one of those boreholes where you do chuku and it ends, you know, just to be that, oh, somebody came to do. This is like a 10,000 liter polytank situation, digging, we're filtering the water at the same time, making sure the maintenance culture is also very available for the continuity of that situation, because I don't seek to do this to, you know, for me, I always have a principle. I believe that it's about the legacy. You know, if I've come through from the scratch like this, it then should be about the legacy, because I've seen and read and have been inspired by many stories of great people who have beginnings like mine, who actually inspire me to continue to do what I'm doing.
Stonebwoy, you have a powerful voice. The illegal mining challenge, the Galamsey challenge, is one of the biggest challenges this country faces. Here you are, finding solutions for people affected by that. First of all, what's your position on the problem, the illegal mining problem? Now that you've seen it for yourself, what do you say about it? What's your position on it?
My position on it is definitely where the people stand, because look at the situation of the people in such communities, the water bodies that have been polluted. And we all in Ghana drink water from natural water bodies. We don't conjure water from anywhere else.
Yeah.
And when majority of those water bodies are being polluted, then it's only a matter of time we're all going to be importing water to drink. But those who live in those communities, closer to those communities, are facing it firsthand. I saw on Joy News 2-3 days ago that people are giving birth to, babies without genitals, eyes, etc., owing to the chemical situations in their water, their food, and etc. That is my stand on the problem. I'm not coming to speak anything for anybody to get hurt. I don't even have the power to do such. I'm not a politician. I'm not an expert. But I'm an expert, like Rawlings said, in feeling the pain of our people in the same way. This is a hungry child before, and I can relate. So instead of just talking about the problem, I think I would want to also not be a spectator, like our president said, but be a citizen where I can use my voice, my little bad change that I get from creating music, where I don't think I get really paid enough from the structures that exist in the nation. But I still make sure that I'm able to actually do the do and not just be talking. So that's why I stand for the problem.
If you had one suggestion to the authorities, what suggestion would you give in taking this issue on in a way that possibly could lead to some real solutions in stopping or minimizing the illegal mining challenge? What would be your suggestion to the fight against illegal mining?
Yeah, sincerely, the fight against illegal mining has been on probably before I was born. Yeah. The situation has just been escalating and escalating because, I would believe that people in power know about it more than we who are standing by, because these deals and these, companies, these foreign nationals, these local companies are dealing on government level. I am by means just a citizen, but what I can say is that when I look and read about Johannesburg and other Perth, which is in Australia, and other mining cities, or cities where people fetch natural resources, you can understand that their CSR positioning is very strong. And cities like Johannesburg is built off of the fact that it is a mining town or mining city.
True.
But that cannot be said about our mining cities over here in Ghana to have developed to that level where that the corporate social responsibility is working, where the companies are actually taking priority in making sure that livelihood is top-notch. In certain instances, I think many people should be rushing from Accra to even live in Takoradi and Obuasi because of the standards of, living, owing to the fact that they are the areas where our natural resources are being mined. So,
let's come back to music for a while, because that's your strong suit. And listen, Stonebwoy, I've seen from everything I've read and followed, you definitely on the trajectory towards the Grammy, right?
Amen.
I mean, because I did a small digging, and I noticed that some of your best works have been produced by international producers. For example, when I found out that Into the Future, which is on your the Jugglers, the German multiple platinum producers were behind that. What has been the inspiration? And notice that many of your songs are not produced at all.
Yeah, many, but the ones that are produced here are also produced by top notch. And these are people who have the capacity and the quality to bring us the glory of having worked with all the levels of international, artists, where we have Guilty Beats. He produced Run Am. He actually produced on Beyonce's last album and on some other amazing, big stars too.
What's the ambition? Tell me. Be honest with me. I'm looking at it and say, are you actually thinking I'm working towards a Grammy, or you just work and hope that it will land you there? I'm just curious here.
Yeah.
Is it at the back of your head when you're produced, when you're in the studio?
I'm actually thinking of working to meet international standard levels that will last a lifetime.
Okay.
Yes, that is my thoughts when I'm creating all these things. And also getting top-notch, you know, professionals involved, because that gives it the value that it's supposed to have. And then by virtue of this, there's definitely the Grammys will be there, the billboards will be there knocking at the doors if you work at, you know, at this level. So that's my primary.
That's your primary objective.
Yeah.
So that is fascinating, because I noticed you have a multiple Grammy Award winner, one of her own next door, called Angelique Kidjo, on my favorite track, right? What was the thinking behind bringing Angelique Kidjo into this song called Manoji?
Manoji was recorded some years ago, to be honest. It was recorded around my very last album, you know. So it's such a classic song that when it started as a demo, I knew that this would be a song that could have Angelique Kidjo on top of that song.
I see.
So I hadn't even had any links to her by that time. So I just left it, went on, released an album and etc. But we were still working behind the scenes. So
How many years ago was this?
This should be 4 years at least when the song started to be recorded as a demo, you know, at least, so it can go into 5 basically. Yeah, that being said, Denta actually did a program here in Ghana and invited Angelique Kidjo to be a part of it. So I hit her up and I'm like, Big sis, what's up? I'm so good with her, because when she started Guba, we were some of the first people to, you know, be called upon to support, and gratefully did. So she connected the two of us, and I went to meet the lady, their mommy, we call her. So she said, I hear about your song, you Stonebwoy, are you Ewe? I heard you. I'm like, yeah. Can you speak Ewe? I said, yes, of course. She was so amazed and fascinated because she hadn't really done a song with a Ghanaian who's Ewe.
Okay.
If I don't know the record, so I must be careful to say Ghanaian who's Ewe. So she was like, nah, she's loving this. I sent the record over. It was at the demo stages, but she still understood what it could be because she's a pro. She laced the vocals, and then we turned it around to such a beautiful song. She's not the only Grammy-winning artist on the Shaggy as well is on the album.
Oh, Shaggy is on.
So you can understand that we only decided to bring Ghana the best, you know, of Stonebwoy.
That is fascinating indeed. Let's transition that. Afrobeats, right? There's something I'm noticing. I don't know when I'm right.
Yeah.
They say it's called an Afrobeat revolution, which is taking over the world. I mean, we've seen Nigerian acts winning the Grammys, performing on all these international stages. What's your view on that particular genre, and where do you place yourself in this revolution, if indeed you agree it's a revolution?
Yes, I could agree it's a revolution, because my understanding would be that it's risen so fast, so much so that it is what the world is speaking about globally. Everywhere you go as a musician, you realize that it's been able to find a place right now on the world charts when music comes to play.
Yeah.
And interestingly, the countries that are supposed to be glorified for such tremendous work would really have got Nigeria and Ghana amongst the top 3, just to be fair. Because I mean, I need to leave space. I can't really, just to be fair.
Okay.
And that is where I think we are also proud enough to continue to contribute our quota, you know, as a nation to the term, or the umbrella name, which is Afrobeats, that the world knows now, and the West would categorize African sound under. Okay. You know.
I like that term. So in other words, your song is also Afrobeats.
Absolutely can be termed as such.
Okay.
But then, you see, the Afrobeats, as far as I know, I once said it in France, and by the time I checked Wikipedia, it was there, because I checked these things often, and that explanation was not what was there. So I was glad that it was also seen like that, because when you do check, it tells you that it's become like an umbrella name under which sounds from Africa are easily placed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely I do Afro dancehall, reggae music, you know, because of the width of my talent,
Yeah, I know. I know.
If you're from the hood,
yeah, I know. I do. I do.
So I do Afrobeats and dancehall and reggae. Everybody knows that I blend these three styles. But when it crosses over, we know dancehall, which is a genre that has been formed and populated by Jamaicans, but they also have definitely some significant amount of Ghanaian roots. I mean, we can say African roots, which is right, but I want to claim it, and as long as I'm claiming it, I want to state some relation right here. So I think to be inspired as well by reggae music or dancehall music is in line. Yeah. So they refer to my style as Afrobeats too, because my songs actually are very versatile enough to fit any type of instrumentational behavior that would make you call an Afrobeat song anyway. So.
Why does it appear to me that Nigeria is stealing our thunder? They're taking huge lead in this. Mm-hmm. They're performing at the Grammys. They're performing at halftime shows. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is? Because you are fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic shining light in music globally.
Thank you very much.
What is the issue there?
Before I even go into it, I want us to, I know we feel the same sentiment, so let us assume for a second, let's just assume that Nigeria is non-existent. Okay. Right now, let's just assume like Nigeria is not in the play. Good, we have. So, and it's only Ghana. Yeah. Are we operating well enough to be able to be that big?
Interesting. What do you think?
We are asking. Before I answer.
Yeah. That's a very fundamental question.
So that there's no comparison whatsoever yet. Mute Nigeria.
And ask the question again.
And check the ecosystem. Check Ghana and what is happening and how we're doing and how we're not doing, and tell me if we are going to be able to. Now the answer stems from the fact that they're doing so many things right, which is worth emulating, so that we can also continue to be a part of, and also chalk some of these great heights that we deserve. Owing to how history that I've read, one thing that makes me know that we have greats and have had greats that have been undocumented, have not been documented enough for us to use that as the yardstick and strength stick to propel enough, is that when I see a godfather like Jedubile Ambule at the age of 76 touring Europe today and playing all these amazing festivals, and I also put the eye to the hip life era, which is not older than probably Jedubile's era, then I realized that there's something really wrong in how we grew down and didn't grow up. Whereas for the Nigerians, when you shoot back into the eras of their fellas, etc., comparing to what is happening now, you realize that they inclined, they didn't decline.
That's a fascinating analysis.
Right? So what can we do? But also, individually, look at the standard of album that I've dropped. It qualifies to go everywhere in the world. Videos are going to follow up. It takes investment. It takes a national agenda somewhat.
Okay, a national agenda.
Exactly.
So that it goes beyond you, your personal initiative. Okay.
Exactly. It takes a national agenda as well. It takes knowing ourselves and intentionally exhuming that pride that we are as people, as Ghanaians. Like when something struck my heart, I'm not trying to be political about it. When the King of Kings, Ashanti King, visited
King of England,
and the Ashanti Kingdom flag I was so happy and gassed.
You felt proud.
That is like pride. Not to say that the Ghana flag is not present. It is, because if my history tells me right, there must be the Ashanti flag before the Ghana flag. Yeah, you're right. You see me? So that's the core. That's like rising spirit of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So me too, I feel like these are the things. Sarkodie is going on tour, world tour, and I really would want to have seen sold out within a few, minutes, because Ghanaians would rush to the forefront. Majority of the Ghanaians in the diaspora would rush. But that is not the issue. It always becomes a last minute.
So we don't patronize our own?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Why not? We wouldn't be here.
Okay.
But the intentionality brings the intensity. And being knowledgeable about the fact that we need to all play our individual roles and be a part of it is very important. That I can beg to say that majority of us, even, are not putting that foot forward, whereas the Nigerians will do that any day, anytime. I have encountered Ghanaians where you're on tour or you're doing shows, yes, especially outside of Ghana, that would say, oh yeah, to say waba, but yeah, call the video no ochina.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow, and it's the mindset too. Like they believe that, okay, I say, oh, and how much is £50, £60, £70?
Yeah.
£100 the max. Yeah. See what I mean? So these.
Yeah. So if I asked you to bullet for me what it would take for us to rise and take our rightful place in that global music revolution, what would you bullet it as? What are the key things we need to do today to make that leap?
Yeah, it may sound like be a can you pay, but I think once upon a time, the government of Nigeria took a decision and gradually turned things around. I think this can be verified by some of the top gurus of Ghana music, and so therefore I think we can also replicate such and such.
Okay.
Specifically,
what can the government do?
There's the creative arts, side that exists. I think there should be that the president himself must be very interested, because it is such that I know there are so many things going on, but just to make a perfect example, that president at the time was specifically involved and called and said, how, why? Listen, you come. Okay. How do we do this? Put that together, put this together, and they started a revolution of turning the 419 that everybody was aware of or whatever into the Afrobeats giant of today, So these are the pointers. Government has to be very, very involved. Our creative and art structures have to really work. We have to invest. We have to make it encouraging for people to be able to invest in the movies, the music, the arts basically, because they are moving hand in hand. Yeah. Nigerian movies are speeding. They're featuring in different heights. So that's it. We need to pay critical attention. When you take somebody drew my attention, an older person. Like when you take like a PMP, you see the news, it's an old person. Somebody was saying this story. Yeah. The entertainment news day back. Yeah. Like that tells you the priority that is placed on creative arts in this country. I don't think that we place priority on creative arts so well enough to be able to compete on the global levels. Compete in quotes, because I don't see a competition. I only see representation. Because once you're pushing well enough, you will represent for yourself. Nobody can deny your place. When it comes to creative arts, you just need to be able to be seen and pushed, because we have gurus who are of Ghanaian origin who reside abroad, like the badasses. We have top-notch people in the creative arts industry abroad who can actually lend a hand when authorities really want to.
Let's circle back to where we started, fifth dimension. Why fifth dimension? I know you're taking in a deep breath.
Yeah, fifth dimension because, we're moving forward. Okay. We're getting into different dimensions. We have the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. This is my fifth dimension. Coincides to be my fifth studio album as well. And the styles that I've been propagating over the years is quite interesting. I'm one person who has a hit song in High Life, so low, so but I come back.
One of my favorite. I wanted them to play, but they say if I play, YouTube will strike us. So they will say it's copyright. And I said, but Stonebwoy owns it. They said, no, Stonebwoy.
Even me don't have
I can't, exactly. So we can't play. But Sobolo is a fun. I like the one that you perform live.
Yeah.
Was fascinating.
With the band.
So yeah, okay.
So I think I have a Sobolo hit. I have If I Die Today, which is a dancehall hit. I have Afrobeat hit. So my style really covers. I term it to be music of black origin because that is how high my inspiration, goes. Yeah. So I needed to put all of those into a very, suitable situation where the world can assimilate in today's time, which is still going to be futuristic and live on. So the fifth dimension could be the name that will fit, because when you read about the fifth dimension as well, you realize that it's something that takes you not only in the physical realm, it takes you into the astral places, etc. So
where do you want to go with this album? When you did it and you launched it, everybody has a dream, right?
Yeah,
when you do something.
For sure.
When you did this album, where did you see it going?
By the time I completed this album, I knew that I've been able to tick majority of the boxes that could make this album live as a global album.
Okay.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, so that definitely it's where you want to land with this one, and indeed we've talked a lot about music, and I know you trace your roots back and you love where you've come from. I mean, and so in the next 5-10 years, where do you see yourself?
Trust. I really only do have the power now.
Now, yeah.
Like as you speak, because I can't even tell what will happen in
tomorrow.
The next,
that's true. In the next minute. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm able to tell because my prophetic.
It comes along. It comes along.
Yes. But I mean, realistically, I really in the next 5-10 years would be growing, and would just pray that my music.
If there's one act you want to feature on the next song, internationally, anywhere in the world, though, who would it be? Who has been who has been that one person you've been dying to feature?
I featured most of the people that I've been dying to feature.
Okay,
most,
great.
Because I have to be grateful. The Shaggys, the Beanie Mans, the Sean Paul, the Angelique Kidjos, that is internationally. So right now I'm thinking technical too much.
Okay.
To be able to just move like fan. I would do Taylor Swift.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I'll do a Taylor Swift or a Rihanna.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that Taylor Swift one. I'm looking forward to that. That will be very fascinating indeed. Exactly. And I understand you are in school too. Goodness me, Stonebwoy. Yeah, you're looking, who gave me the hint? I understand you are in school. Stonebwoy, you're in school with all the work that you're doing. You're actually still in school. Why? You don't want people to know you're in school? You are in school.
I do.
Yeah, you are in school.
But
and I'm told you're doing
surprised.
some. Oh, and then you're in the same school with Samini.
That's our SRC president.
You are kidding me. Did you guys plan that?
Please, no.
You didn't?
No.
Because I know you and Samini back in the day.
Absolutely. We didn't plan that.
Okay.
I think great minds think alike. So
what do you do? What do you do at Gimpa?
I do public administration.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you graduate to be a public administrator?
Oh, me, I'm in the public already.
That's true. Come think of it.
I just have to equip myself. I mean, realistically, I just really wanted to equip myself, apart from the fact that I would want to have, I went to UPSA in marketing, but as time went on, I feel like this is what I really want to equip myself with, public administration, so that I can be able to fit in. But
Stonebwoy, you are rich now, right?
No.
You're not rich. No. Stonebwoy, you are wealthy.
It depends on how you say rich, Okay.
So what will you call it? So you're not rich, so you're what?
No, come on, man. I'm not the wealthiest guy in Ghana, but I'm not poor at all.
But some say in terms of the musicians, you are the richest.
I could claim it.
Here we go. Yeah. Stonebwoy, that's the headline. Stonebwoy claims richest musician tag.
I could claim it. That's what I said. I could.
Okay.
Just because I think that God is blessing me in a sense that, he said he who finds something to do and does it diligently He's going to bless it. I mean, that is a confident talk. Realistically, I'm not poor. I'm nowhere near poor because I have food, clothes, and shelter. I have 2 beautiful babies. I have a wife that I'm capable of taking care of. I have a foundation that I'm also putting blood, sweat, and tears, so I cannot say that I'm not rich. In that sense, I am.
You claim it. In that sense,
and
you
I
are.
have some gold teeth.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. How much does one cost, by the way?
This is made here, right here in Ghana, because we have the gold. We have the gold coast of the world, remember?
How much? Your wife is a dentist.
Exactly.
Did he put that in for you?
No, I had somebody to
but come on, they could have done this at home, you know.
There are different people who do different things.
Oh, come on. This is the place that he owns that part.
She makes sure that your anything that has to do with your mouth
it's okay.
is solid. This one is aesthetics.
You're not going to tell me how much one costs, right?
It's really not that expensive. It's really not that.
But
I'll be honest. This would be like I did it right here in Ghana. One of our Ghana boys. You see what I'm saying?
I know.
I don't know if I should mention, but yeah, this shouldn't cost more than $600, you know, for what I have, these 2,
yeah.
you know.
Can I get one?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We can hook you up.
On your tab, you pick the tab?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm going to get a gold.
Of course, you know why I'm falling in love with wearing this lately? Because, bro, knowing that I'm from the Gold Coast and I have nothing to show off it, I mean, I don't want to sound shallow, but...
I like the reason behind that.
I mean,
and the reason I was asking whether you're rich, someone say, but you're rich, you don't need school. I mean, that's what people think. You've made it. Mama, I made it. Why are you going back to school?
I mean, school is important, you know. We learn every day, not only in the classrooms, but if you do have the opportunity and you do want to and you can, then I think you should go for it.
Okay. That makes sense.
There's so many things that are hidden in the book.
That if you don't study, you won't find. Okay. And talking about the fact that your old G, Samini is your SRC president, are you still cool?
I believe so.
Oh, I believe so.
Yes.
Or you're not sure?
No, I believe so is a strong statement.
Strong statement. Okay, so it's definite. It's cool.
Yeah, I believe.
And this is the final one before we wrap up. Give me your favorite song on the fit.
Jeez.
That's the last one. I know I reserved the most difficult question for last.
Right.
But there are 17 tracks on that.
Yes.
So give me your favorite.
All right, before I give my favorite, I just want to tell the masses that this album has a drama for the womb, a Christo for the womb,
my hands are up.
Politicians for the womb,
my hands are down.
Ghetto youth for the Obia the womb.
Yes.
So you can choose, you can have your favorite. But my favorite would be, I think I'll choose.
That's a difficult one.
In Control right now. Into the Future is doing great.
God, I love that you dodged me there. I was waiting for you to agree with me there with
Mano G, right?
Yeah, Mano G.
Listen.
So Mano G is my first, and then Into the Future is my second.
Okay, so even you are picking 2. So you see me.
No, I first and second. So your favorite is none of these. Anyway, now I'm going to listen to yours. What's yours again?
Mine is In Control.
In Control. Okay.
Into the Future, and Where is the Love?
Okay, so first In Control.
Yeah, Into the Future.
Okay, Into the Future, which is mine.
Yeah, and
Where is the Love? So 2 of your top 3.
But I have top 17. Can I mention them?
Please go ahead.
From track 1 to 17.
Go ahead.
That's it, from track 1 to 17.
Okay, all of it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm telling you the truth.
Okay, well.
These songs were carefully selected out of almost 60 plus songs for the album.
When would the rest, when would you release the rest?
They will come.
Okay, but you should feature me, you know, as I said at the beginning.
I'm open.
I might...
Maybe you might want to give us some bars so people can be convinced.
He's asking me to rap. Come on. You know, he hasn't been done on a cappella. Me, I'm a journalist. Why do you want me to do?
Oh, I can do on a cappella right now so that you can do your rap. Okay, fine. Let me just do it so you can do your rap.
Let's go.
Yeah. Me give her something with the sweet and ginger. She never get him mad and sick. She call me every man. He say she tired of the mac and cheese. One thing more of the geezer. Well, I one time touch and she already fainting. All them time we be participating. She never know what I'm anticipating. The mission is her heart for the taking, yo. Me, I want you long time. I dey see you for dream, oh. It no be one time. Baby, I want to go into the future with you. I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby, never listen to what them say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I dodged the bullet. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See me, Chambers, when we'll possibly have an album together, and then you'll hear my lyrics on that. But thank you very much, Stonebwoy. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day, and all the best, all the way to the top.
Thank you very much.